But specifically for women, is there anything that you would want to say to a woman, especially a Caribbean woman who may be over 50, over 45, over 50, and thinking, where do I go now with a career?
Yes.
Is it possible for me to pivot, for me to iterate and get better? Who feels hopeless?
Yeah, definitely. The first thing I say, and people are always surprised by this because I do work in technology and I work in AI. I think women over 45, over 50 need to really lean into developing their brand. Now, I know that sounds crazy because we think of the millennial generation and Gen Z being all over social media and those things, but really the future is going to be a very different economy. And a lot of it is going to be down to how you brand yourself and how you lean into marketing yourself, which is very strange sometimes for women and Caribbean women, especially corporate women. So that's one, right? Number two is don't be afraid of AI. Try it. Right now, AI is at a point where we're all at the same level. It's democratized everywhere. You can get free, versions of Gemini and Claude and others, and just play with it and use it in your everyday life. And really, it's those types of things that are going to make you stand out in this future kind of way of working. Because I think Oprah Winfrey had done an interview recently with one of the most prominent, it was the Black woman, most prominent AI researchers. And she was talking about the world will change in the future and it will become more of like an individual gig economy. The traditional ways we've kind of, gone up the corporate ladder or developed our careers will go away. And it's those who kind of own who they are, own their brand, lean into how these tools can either help them develop their own enterprises or can, represent something different for an organization are the ones who will survive. Yeah.
Yeah. So just be open to learning as you age. We're no longer in that period of time where you climb the corporate ladder, 5 years to retirement, let's just coast here, and then we go home and we just take care of the grandkids and we garden.
Yeah, those days are over. Women of all ages are reinventing themselves out of necessity, especially here in the US, because 300,000 Black women lost their jobs. And
Yeah.
two, things like social media, things like AI open you up to other avenues and other ways to, create a career for yourself. Anyone can pivot. I think just women in our age group, I'm a Gen Xer, need to be open, right, to trying and learning new things. And another thing we have a hard time with is learning from people younger than us. That can be hard. That can be hard when you've invested 30, 40 years in your career to hear some, person 20, 30 years older than you tell you you're doing it wrong and you should do it this way.
And
That
you
is
should do it this way.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I agree with that so much.